Have you ever done anything and felt like you were making a selfish choice, or had someone tell you that what you were doing or thinking was selfish? Well, today we're going to talk about the difference between selfish and self-interest. Principle-based living is all about teaching the idea that everything in this life happens for a reason. Einstein said that God doesn't play dice with the universe. So this universe is not governed by chance. It's governed by laws or principles that, if understood and followed, will give us the outcomes in life that we want. I believe that the purpose of this life is for each one of us to become who we truly are, to become fully capable and to be able to identify and know what our sole purpose is, and to be able to achieve total and complete happiness in this life. So principle-based living is about teaching the principles and the truths that, if understood and followed, will result in happiness in our life. And I believe that our world is set up to do the same thing, that the consequences or the outcomes of the choices that we make in life, the way the world is set up is there's a consequence or an outcome for everything that we do. And when we make self-interest choices, then the outcomes benefit us and they benefit others. When we make selfish choices, then the outcomes do not benefit us and they do not benefit others. So an easy way of understanding when we are making selfish or self-interest choices is to look at the choice that we're making and ask ourselves if the choice that we are making is in alignment with principle or with the natural laws that govern this world. If our decision is in alignment with truth. If our decision is, then we can know and trust that it's a self-interest choice. If they are not, we can know and trust that it's a selfish choice. So sometimes we get a little bit confused in life because oftentimes there is a short-term or immediate consequence or payoff for the decision or choice that we make. So it seems as if we're getting a benefit from that behavior or that decision, but long-term, that positive outcome is not sustained. It goes away, and that's the way that the addictions work. We don't like the state that we're in, and so we make a decision to do something that temporarily changes our state, but it does nothing to address the underlying issue that created the state to begin with. And so all it does is it masks it, or it changes the way that we feel for a short time, but then that old feeling or situation will return. So it's pretty cool that we live in a world that is here to help us learn and to grow and to become the best that we can be. And again, that's the purpose of looking at the decisions and choices that we make. Is it really benefiting us long-term and benefiting others? So let's look at why we do the things that we do. And research has shown that there's really two primary reasons that we do anything, and that's either to achieve pleasure or to avoid pain. So the things that we do in life, we do it because we think that by doing those things, it's going to help us feel better. It's going to make us happy. And ultimately, what I believe that all of us want in this life is we want to be okay. But the truth is, most of us struggle with our own self-concept or our self-image. And we tend to look outside of ourselves in order to get that validation, that acceptance, that love. So one thing that we can know right off the bat is if I'm making a decision or a choice where I'm looking outside of myself to give me the love, the acceptance, the validation that I want, then I'm looking in the wrong place and I'm making a selfish choice, not a self-interest choice. And it may give me a temporary fix to where I feel better, but then it will pass and then I'll be seeking that fix again. So it's like a dog chasing its tail. You're never going to find what you're seeking for. So let's take a couple of examples and look at them from a selfish or a self-interest perspective. The truth is, every decision that we make in life, we do it for a reason. And if we want to really kind of take control of our life and begin to achieve the levels of happiness and success that we want, then it's important that we begin to become more aware and look at why we are making the decisions and choices that we're making, because otherwise we're making them based on autopilot. So what we've been taught and conditioned to do throughout our life, and oftentimes that conditioning results in us making selfish choices that give us that short-term result that we want, but they do not give us the long-term result. And because we are on autopilot, which means we're not really conscious and we're not really aware of what we're doing and why we're doing it, we don't make that connection between cause and effect. And so we make a decision or choice that gives us the short-term benefit, but then after a period of time, the unhappiness or the negative state returns, and we don't see the connection between that short-term or that behavior that gave us a short-term benefit and now where we're at again, where we're back in the same place. And so we'll look outside of ourselves as the cause for the unhappiness and again try to fix it by external sources. So here's an example. I'm at the grocery store and I see the candy bars and I decide to buy a candy bar. So that's just a real simple kind of decision that, we could make every day. But everything we do for a reason. So why did I buy the candy bar? Was it because I was hungry? So if I was hungry and I bought the candy bar for that, was the candy bar the best choice to take care of the hunger? Or was there something that would have been more healthy or sustaining than a candy bar? Maybe it's just I like the taste of the candy bar, so it tastes better than carrots or celery or whatever it is. So it could be that I have an addiction to the sugar and to the taste of the candy bar, and maybe it's been a while since I've had a candy bar, and so at a subconscious level I just know I've got this craving. It could be that I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling lonely, I'm feeling depressed, I've got anxiety going on, and I've experienced that, when I eat something pleasurable, that I feel better. And so I've never really consciously looked at that before, so I don't know why I'm making that decision. So again, to be able to slow things down and say, why am I making this choice? Why do I want that candy bar? And if it's for a selfish reason, so it's because I'm craving sugar, then what that tells me is that I have either lost control of my life or I'm losing control because I'm allowing my cravings to dictate what my behaviors are rather than selfish or self-interest to determine my behaviors. Now what will happen if I make the self-interest choice and I pass on the candy bar, eventually that craving or that desire will pass. And if I've identified what the real reason was, so let's say it was that I was feeling lonely, well now I can look at, why am I feeling lonely? Maybe it's because I don't have anything to do. Well, then that can tell me I need to find more to do in my life. So I need to figure out, maybe I need to start being less selfish and centered just on myself and look at ways that I could create more value for others out in the world. And that would take care of the feeling of loneliness. If it is a craving that I have, that by not giving in to the craving and doing that over an extended period of time, the craving will then go away. So let's take another situation. Let's say that you want to do something for yourself. Maybe you want to go to a movie, or you want to go golfing, or you want to go running or exercise, or any behavior like that. And you've decided that it's for a self-interest reason. It's not due to an addiction or a compulsion. It's not because I'm not in a good mood or a good place right now. I want to go exercise because I enjoy exercising and it helps me stay healthy. But I have a thought that if I go, then my partner, my husband, my wife will be upset because I went and took the time to do this and they would prefer that I do something else. Now it's a little bit more complicated. I have to look at, okay, is my decision to go exercise, is that really selfish? Am I avoiding being with my wife? Am I avoiding doing something that is my responsibility to do? Or is it based on guilt? And I feel a responsibility to make my partner happy. And so I don't want to do anything that may cause them to be unhappy. Now, again, looking at principles here, it can help me think clearly about this decision and know whether it's a selfish or a self-interest choice. If I know that I am not able to make my partner unhappy, and that I trust that my partner is capable of taking care of him or herself and making self-interest choices. And so maybe my wife may be a little bit disappointed that I go and exercise right now because she would prefer that I do something else. But I don't need to worry about that this is going to cause an argument, or that this is going to cause a fight, or that she may leave me because I went and exercised. Because here's what happens. Let's say that I decide not to go exercise and I decide to stay back, but I'm doing it because I feel like I need to do it to keep my partner happy. Now I'm going to begin to build up resentment because I never get to do the things that I want to do. That resentment will begin to come out in the relationship and begin to cause problems in the relationship. So the self-interest decision would have been to do what is in my self-interest, to go exercise, to allow my wife to know that I still love her and she is still important to me. So I take time for me to do the things that I need to do to be okay. But then when I come back, I make sure that I take care of my responsibilities at home too. So if it's my night to wash the dishes, then I wash the dishes. I look for other times and opportunities to make sure that I'm spending time with my wife. So I look at the things that I have control over and I make those decisions and choices. So we can get into a pattern of making one self-interest choice that leads to another self-interest choice, to another self-interest choice, or we can get into other patterns where we make a selfish choice that leads to another selfish choice, to another selfish choice. Making self-interest choices, again, not only benefits us, but it benefits others. And in relationships, making self-interest choices ultimately results in stronger, healthier relationships. So again, every decision and choice that we make, we need to look at what are the reasons that we're making that. Is it based on principle? And then am I doing it for the right reasons? Or am I doing it for unhealthy reasons? And as we make self-interest choices, as we learn to discipline ourselves and to govern ourselves, to delay gratification, what we will find is we will begin to see ourselves differently. We will begin to value ourselves. We will begin to respect ourselves, and as a result, begin to keep the commitments that we make to ourselves. And as we do that, we're going to love ourselves more. We're going to enjoy ourselves more. Our level of happiness will increase, and our relationships with others will increase. And as a result, we will be able to begin creating the life that we truly want for ourselves and for those around us. Thanks for watching. Make sure and subscribe to our channel. Visit our website at principle-based-living.com if you'd like to know more about who we are and what we do. And if you're watching this on LinkedIn, be sure and follow me here.